Good morning, children. Today I'll take the structure of white blood cells, types and structure of white blood cells. Yesterday I explained you about red blood cells. White blood cells or white blood corpuscles are also called leukocytes. The white blood cells are amoeboid in shape, that is, they do not have any definite shape. All the white blood cells have nucleus present in it. That is, they are nucleated cells. Red blood cells were biconcave in shape, nucleus absent. White blood cells are amoeboid in shape, nucleus present. Main difference. These cells are also known as phagocytes because they carry the function of swallowing, engulfing the foreign and the worn out, injured part structures of the body, like injured tissues, body cells. They destroy them, they engulf them. They are also called as scavengers because they engulf all the dead and worn out tissues of the body. So they carry this type of work, they are called as scavengers. Thirdly, they are also called as soldiers of the body because they get accumulated at the site of injury and fight with the invading microorganisms that may cause infection. So, at the site of injury, the white blood cells will get collected there and will fight against any harmful microorganisms like bacteria and destroy them. That is how they protect our body against infection, and that is why they are called as soldiers of the body. Their number vary from 5,000 to 9,000 per cubic millimeter of human blood. These white blood cells are either produced in the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the hollow cavity in the bones, especially in the long bones, or in lymphoid tissue like lymph nodes. Spleen is a lymphatic organ. They are produced in these structures. Extraordinary increase in the number of white blood cells, that is above the normal number. If the number increases, then a person suffers from a disease called leukemia, which is blood cancer. And if there is abnormal decrease in their number, then the person suffers from a disease called leukopenia. Type of leukocytes, type of white blood cells. Based upon the structure, the leukocytes are of following two types: agranular and granular. Agranular leukocytes are also called as agranulocytes. These are those white blood cells or leukocytes where the cytoplasm is not granular, is not in the form of particles. In appearance, it is in the form of translucent fluid. They are produced in the lymph nodes, spleen, and other lymphoid tissues. The white blood cells which come in this group, they have a single large nucleus. Important feature: cytoplasm is not granular and they have a single large nucleus. There are two types of white blood cells come in this group: monocytes and lymphocytes. Monocytes are the largest sized white blood cells. There are many types of white blood cells, but the largest in size are the monocytes. They form about 3 to 8% of the total number of white blood cells present in our body. 3 to 8% are monocytes. It is a large amoeboid cell and having a single large kidney-shaped nucleus. This is its characteristic feature. They are produced in bone marrow, and the function of monocytes is to engulf foreign particles, any foreign body, as well as the worn out tissues, that is the injured body cells. by a process called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis itself is a process of engulfing foreign particles and the worn out blood cells. Then second type of agranular leukocyte is lymphocytes. They are small in size, similar to the size of red blood cells. They are round in shape. They also have one nucleus, but large one nucleus, which almost fill the entire space of the cell inside. You will find that they form 20 to 23% of total leukocytes and are produced in the spleen and tonsils. These are the lymph organs. So these organs produce lymphocytes. They are not phagocytic in nature, that is, they do not carry on the function of swallowing or engulfing the foreign particles. Their function is to produce antibodies that provide immunity resistance against any specific disease. Any particular microorganism, when gets an entry into the body, these lymphocytes, these type of white blood cells get activated. They immediately will produce antibodies against that harmful microorganism and will destroy them, will kill them and protect our body against infection, thus develop immunity or resistance to fight against that disease. Then second group of leukocytes is granular leukocytes, granular white blood cells, also called as granulocytes. The white blood cells, all those white blood cells which come in this group, they have two specific features. That is, their cytoplasm is granular, that in the form of particles. Then the nucleus of these white blood cells are not one nucleus. They are usually constricted into lobes. One nucleus is there is a division, divided into lobular structure, 2-lobed structure, 3-lobed structure, or more than that. Whereas in agranulocytes, the cytoplasm was not granular and the white blood cells of that group contains one large single nucleus. Here the nucleus is divided into lobules. They are of three types depending on the nature of the cytoplasm. These granular leukocytes are produced in the red bone marrow. Their nucleus are usually constricted into lobes. Depending upon the chemical nature of their cytoplasm, they are of three types. Acidophils, their cytoplasm is alkaline in nature. Basophils, their cytoplasm is acidic in nature. Neutrophils, the cytoplasm is neutral in nature. All these three types of granular leukocytes, white blood cells, these three types, their cytoplasm in all the three cases will be granular and the nucleus will not be one single piece nucleus. It will be constricted into lobules. This acidophils is also called as eosinophils. It is about 1 to 2% of the total leukocytes. Cytoplasm is alkaline in nature and the nucleus is bilobed. Can you see this? 2-lobular structure. They are produced in bone marrow and their function is to engulf bacteria, that is phagocytic in nature, and secrete antitoxin. And these white blood cells, they are associated with allergy. That is, whenever we have any allergic reaction in our body, immediately their number will increase to protect our body against allergic infection. Then second type come basophils. These white blood cells are about 0 to 5% of their total leukocytes. Their cytoplasm is acidic in nature and their nucleus is 3-lobed. See, 3 parts are seen. Single nucleus is divided into 3 lobular structure. They are also produced in bone marrow, and the function of this type of white blood cells called basophils, they produce a chemical substance called histamine for inflammation. At the time of inflammation, that is at the time of infection, when there is pain, when there is swelling, immediately these white blood cells will produce a chemical called histamine, which will dilate the blood vessels. And more of white blood cells can come out of it to fight against that. Neutrophils, these form about 70% of total leukocytes. Maximum number of white blood cells are neutrophils. Its cytoplasm is neutral. The nucleus is 3 to 4 lobed, that is, they are multi-lobed. They are also phagocytic in nature and are produced in bone marrow. Then tomorrow I will take functions of white blood cells. So monocytes, lymphocytes come in the group of agranulocytes. Acidophils, basophils and neutrophils come in the group of granular leukocytes. So total there are 5 types of white blood cells, and we'll study the function of, in common, the function of the white blood cells. In one or the other way you will find the different types of white blood cells. They are working to protect our body against harmful microorganisms, to develop resistance in the body, to fight against infection. Thank you.